Alright, so we're in round one. We're playing the Scape Shift, Titan Shift deck. This looks like a pretty good hand. We're going to lead on this and then play the mountain and explore, most likely. So yeah, it's definitely keepable. We'll see what we're against. Like everything in Modern, this is a very matchup dependent deck. And, yep. Okay, so that didn't change much. Because he played a land, I'm tempted to hold on to this and cycle it. However, since we already have some action later on, I'm going to just play it tapped, just smooth out our curve. I think it's close, though, between cycling on turn 4. My guess, though, is he's on like a Death Shadow type deck, since those are more prevalent than an actual like a Grixis control deck or something, or Esper control deck. But the fact that he lets come play tap, I'm not sure. Maybe he's just playing the Pyromancer deck. Okay, so maybe he's on like a Grixis control deck. So we'll see how this goes. So if he was at like, let's say he was at 19, I would play this and get in one attack, so he's at 18 life for Escape Shift. But since that's not the case, I'd rather have this Explorer resolve than the Sakura Tribe Elder, I believe. So he's 5 cards. Yeah, we're going to cast this Explorer. Okay, perfect. And then next turn we can play Tribe Elder and Explosives for 2. And the reason we played this instead of Wood Foothills is I want to get a Stomping Ground tapped. Since we know we're going to get our second basic on this, we don't need to worry about Cinderglade, so we just want to get the Stomping Grounds out of our deck. Okay, so this is interesting. He put Bolt in his discard, and then he missed a land drop. So if we play this and it resolves, then we can definitely turn 5 Titan. There's also a thing like, oh, well, maybe you want to remove his card selection and blow that up. So he has 2 cards in his graveyard, so I'm going to play it on Logic Knot here. Play our land first. I'm going to shock myself. No, I'm just going to get a mountain. And cast Explosive for 2. Okay, perfect. Maybe I should have just fetched since I'm going to pop this. Like 1 damage doesn't matter, and I might just pop it at end step so I can play this Titan when I draw land. So that was probably incorrect. I probably should have gotten a mountain and then searched for a Cinderglade. I don't know. Having 3 green sources is not relevant to you because I'll have 6 mana. So being able to, you know, play a ramp spell plus Scape Shift with 6 land does matter. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sack this here. I do like getting an extra damage because we have double bolt, but I think it is important, you know, that we just beat out the Cryptic Command, and there's a chance that he doesn't have a counterspell here. Alright, well that didn't work, and we drew this Rex Age. So that kind of was the worst case scenario in every way. So now we're going to Rex Age this, and we'll just have this open. I guess it protects our Rex Age from Snapcaster Mages, but I think it's important to keep Search for his Kanto away because he has so many dead cards game 1 against us that we want him to be drawing some number of these Fatal Pushes and Terminates. My guess is he even blows the Fatal Push here because there's just no better target. There's the Fatal Push. So if we still had the Tribe Elder in play, he'd be at 15, which is divisible by 3, which is important. One of the ways you beat control decks a lot of the time is just Valakutting him out. Alright, so we have a few options. We can just run this into a cryptic command, but I think that's kind of stupid. Not that it's like really that dumb or anything, but he's tight on mana. I don't think it's a very realistic situation that. Yeah, let's just run out this Titan. We want to get these cryptic commands out of his hand because they're actually pretty good on our secondary Valakut plan. And if he has to use them on these, then they're out of his hand. Maybe he'll tap out eventually and we can escape shift him. I guess the counter draws. Yep. Now we just kind of have these bolts, which are honestly, these are 4 of our worst cards in the matchup. We drew them, which is unfortunate, but our opponent was a little light. Oh, he has discard too, so this is an interesting deck. Or he's just playing a Gurmag Angler or a what's it called? A Tassiger. Okay, so we play a Tassiger. If we draw a land here, that's pretty good. If not, we're double bolting this Tassiger. Okay, so we really got punished for that turn where we didn't search for a Cinderglade, because then now we could Farseek plus Scapeshift. So what I'm going to do here is bolt this twice, or else he's just going to get a lot of card advantage out of it. And then we're going to cast the Scapeshift, the Farseek. You could say, oh, why don't you save the Farseek in case you draw a Valakut, but there's enough situations where maybe he plays remands, and this next turn we can play it twice if we draw a land, things like that. So I just kind of prefer to do it this way. Like I said, this not getting the Cinderglade on turn 3 really was a mistake. Okay, so he's gonna play Jace, so we win. That's pretty cool. I like winning. We definitely have 6 mountains left in our deck. We have 3 Cinderglades, we have 2 mountains, and then we have 2 more Stomping Grounds. So that's always something you want to make sure about, is do I have enough? Let's fetch out this forest. So, like, obviously he has nothing, but I just like doing good habits. So, like, a good habit would be to float enough for Scapeshift plus remanded Scapeshift. Really doesn't matter. Probably just me doing too many clicks. So this is the hardest part of playing Valakut. So it's 1 Valakut, that's 2 Valakut. Then we get 6 mountains. Stomping Ground. Cinderglade, Cinderglade, Cinderglade. And there we go. And that is 36 damage. Whoops. And that's Cedric Phillips and Todd Anderson commentating. And our opponent conceded. So that was a nice quick game. We drew some of our worst cards and we still managed to do fairly well. So we're going to board in these 6 cards. If we see Liliana's or Kolaghan's commands next game, we're going to bring these in. If you use the blue-white deck, I usually leave in some number of bolts because they have Vendilion clicks, and it's good against the fact that they never go below 18 from their lands. So we're going to board those out first. We're going to board out these explosives and the Reclamation Sage. And Sweltering Sun, so we get to bring in something else. Whoops. I didn't even know you could do that in Constructed. I thought that was just a limited thing. So yeah, all these cards are great. I'm going to go ahead and bring in this Reclamation Sage. I guess there's the highest, to me, the biggest chance of something is that we want to kill is this Kanta, and it's better than Explosive, pressures life total. Like I said, if we see something that discards, we're going to bring those in, but otherwise, I don't think they're very good. I guess you could argue, well, he's taking a push, so they're immune against Lightning Bolt, but I don't think you win a lot of games that way. I don't know. And we're on the draw, so I like being a little more proactive and reactive in that sense. If we're on the play, maybe I'll bring in these Obstinate Baloths and keep in some number of bolts. But I like this configuration. Alright, so this is a mulligan. It is worth noting that he's black deck, so we expect a good number of discard spells, and he'll be on the play. So if he has Collective Brutality, for example, that is a card that if like we keep this hand, Inquisition and Brutality both get around it, which is why this is actually close to keepable. I mean, we're on the draw. We have probably about 2 or 3 draw steps until we really need to hit anything, but I think Tireless Tracker is just such a good card that I'm going to mulligan and hope to hit a Tireless Tracker. Okay, so this is a good hand. We have, first turn, second turn, and then a late game plan. It's also a pretty good hand against Collective Brutality. We're going to keep this on top just because it's a okay mana ramp. It fits our curve. We're going to go this on 1, and then on turn 2, we can play this plus Valakut. Then turn 4, we'll ramp and play our Primeval Titan on turn 3. Turn 4. Maybe we do just want to mulligan that and try to hit a tracker. Tracker is just so important in this matchup, and we already do have a turn 5 Titan, 4 Titan, so I'm gonna put it on bottom. I think it's close though, surprisingly very close. I'm glad I left that. Well, it wouldn't matter because we were shuffled, but. So, next turn, we're going to explore and play this Valakut and hope he doesn't have Crumble the Dust. If he plays Crumble the Dust, more power to him. That's kind of the reason you wouldn't play it. So he's going to play the Search. I'm searching for tomorrow, he's searching for his Kanta. Interesting little... Okay, so that's pretty good. It's going to keep this in check, and it's going to make all of his future Snapcaster Mages bad. If our search resolves off Suspend, we'll be able to play this and play Untapped, and play both this plus this, and potentially leave 1 mana open for exiling everything. And it'll put us up to 6 lands, so we can Titan on our turn 4. Our turn 4. So he does have K commands, that's worth noting. Maybe we'll want to bring in our Baloths, but we'll see. Let's see if he has remands in his deck. We don't know yet. Okay, perfect. We're gonna get a mountain. Okay, so we're gonna sequence it like this. Try to bait out a counterspell. Maybe he'll think we're Landlight. Okay, it didn't work. We're gonna play this Relic. You should always use Relics like that. And so there's a few things going on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it because it does tax this, but you could say this is a bad play because let's say he has like a Kolaghan's Command, you can nuke this, but we do have a lot of land, and I like the chances of 1 of 2 cards being an untapped source. So even if he, during our draw step, upkeep makes us discard this 1 card, there's a good chance we just draw, in the 3 cards, like land, blank, Primeval Titan, we can still play the Primeval Titan, and I think it's worth it just to get everything on board. So he has Cryptic open. And so we're just going to play this slow because we have an active Valakut. Um, I'm even going to start holding things, and it's going to look weird, but the idea is that I'm going to always have more lands than he does, and his cryptic commands are very expensive. So the idea is that like we just keep, pressuring his life total with every land drop. It doesn't look like he has Vendilion Click. Uh, we're making it so it's hard for him to play Tassiger. So we're going to go ahead and put an upkeep stop so I can nuke this on his upkeep. Oh, I have a stop at my end step, so we're good. Actually, I'm going to keep it there just because after this resolves, I'm going to want to nuke whatever's in the discard. Alright, so you can see these relics. They might not look like they're doing much, but I assure you that it makes every draw. He has certain draw steps now that are just worse and worse. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cast this Farseek here and get a Stomach Ground. Nugget for 3. In this way, so what we're trying to build up to is we're trying to find situations where we can kind of outpower him with lands and mana. So now that we have like some green sources, we can potentially, get into a position where we can play like a Scape Shift, and then he remans it, and then we play Scape Shift again. But we'll see. Like, let's say he taps out for a Jace and has like 2 mana open for a counter. There's a chance that, we can hit him twice. So Field of Ruin isn't the biggest concern. Yeah, he can take this out, but it only really matters if he has Surgical and we're caught with our pants down. That's a nice thing about this, is it stops Surgical as well. So we're going to get a Forest. I'm trying to think of what we really care about that Field of Ruin in the graveyard for other than Tassiger, because I'd rather have 2 up so I can protect my Valakut from Surgical. So we're going to let that resolve. Yeah, let's do this now. Okay. So I'm going to run out of Titan, just because we got to get these Cryptics out of his hand sometime. Might as well do it now. So use counter draw. Get rid of that Cryptic. We're hoping that he draws Snapcaster Mages and Tassigers, things of that nature. We really just hope he doesn't draw a healthy mix of, counter spells and lands. That's all we really care about. He's going to play Jace here. Interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and pop one of these at end step, because if you do find the second Scape Shift, we're like favorites to win, and I think that's worth it. Alright, perfect. Oh no, I messed up. So I guess we'll just run out Primordial Titan. He has disdainful stroke. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. So we have a pretty stacked hand. We're going to be able to 2-spell next turn, and he'll have to have multiple counter spells, which is not unlikely, but it's something we have to worry. We have to, you know, we have to just try it. Okay. Let's go ahead and exile this. So we can't Snapcaster it. Well, I guess we could have done that response, but I guess I'll also play. That's why I did it. Played around logic, not. So we have a bunch of mountains in play. We have 6 mountains, but we play 13, so we're okay. Alright, so we're going to have to do the escape shifts now before... I'm guessing he has a lot of counters anyhow, but you might as well just do both and hope one of them resolves. Counter draw. Alright. Let's play this. Pop the relic, let's play it around logic knot. And cast escape shift. Ugh. Brutal. Oh, perfect. Do we want to pay 0? Yes. Okay, so we do definitely have enough mountains. So we only need to deal 15 to him, and we have 3, 6, 9. So we're gonna get 3 Valakuts and 3 mountains. Actually, we'll just go ahead and... We don't want to mess this up. 2, 6. Alright, so we can get 7 lands, but 4 of them have to be mountains. Alright, and we win. I'm going to go ahead and type GG's. Hopefully my opponent sees that I'm a nice guy and doesn't make me click through all this. Alright, I guess not. Well, thanks for watching.